Hi, we're Jacob and Andrea, and this is our van tour. So let's start with the cab. So this is a 2010 Mercedes Sprinter van, the long wheelbase version. So it's almost 7 meters long. So we haven't made that many changes here in the front. What we do have is a brand new stereo, which has a reverse camera. So we've taken the entire dash apart to run cables all the way to the back. We also have a small switch for our DC-DC charger, so we can switch that on and off when we want to. One of the biggest things that we've done here in the front is we built this giant shelf that sits over our heads, which is basically just screwed into the side of the car. It's made to fit the outline of the interior. So we've also made these carpets to make it more homey and cozy when we're driving or just chilling out in the cab.
Let's start with the fun parts of the van. Starting from the bottom. So this is where we store the shoes that we use most right now. So like all the summer shoes and stuff. And it's one of the last things we built in the van. So this is the air outlet for our diesel heater. And the diesel heater is mounted under our front seat. We've actually hooked it up to our diesel tank to the van, so we don't need to fill a separate tank for the heater. So moving up, we have two hooks here for our jackets and our bags. And on top of them we have our huge shelf. So in the back here we have all our long-term storage, like winter clothes and stuff. And here we have other stuff that we use more often.
So in here is where we keep the gas for our stove. Above that we have a little drawer that we made. We keep a bunch of tote bags and yeah, just random stuff. This is the control for the diesel heater. This is a USB plug. We have a normal USB lighter plug and USB outlets. We have several of those in the van. We also have a 230 volt outlet from our inverter. It's just really handy to have close to the door so we can have lights outside and yeah, just everything we need. So this is our wet room. We always knew we wanted to have a shower like a normal apartment or house, so we made this. So we have hot and cold water, a toilet paper holder. We've removed the toilet paper before we shower, of course. We have a shower floor which drains down into our grey water tank. And then we have our airhead composting toilet. We really like the airhead composting toilet. It's super nice, easy to use and easy to empty. We have a dedicated video about the airhead if you want to see that. We'll have a link somewhere on the screen right now. And we also have this really cool shower door, which gives you some privacy in the bathroom, and it's completely self-cleaning. And of course some extra hooks for towels. So here are some more hooks for kitchen towels and some more storage. Here's a small bookshelf. We try to use every bit of space in the van for extra storage. This is our stovetop oven combo. We have 3 burners, gas burners, and a gas oven. We like this burner a lot. The only thing we kind of don't like is that there's too much space in between the metal thingies. So if you put your pot on the wrong place, it might tip a little bit. But other than that, we love it. The oven is also really nice. It has both a bottom burner and a top burner. You can't do them both at the same time, but you can make everything in the oven that you can in a normal oven. We make pizza often and lasagna and everything like that. So we like that a lot as well. Okay, so down here we have the pots and pans drawer. It's a little bit of a chaos drawer. Definitely could need some organizing, but we can fit all our pots and our frying pan and a bunch of extra kitchen supplies. Moving on, we have a small drawer for kitchen supplies like spatulas and whisks and everything you could need. Then we have a small pantry down here, which is full. Here we have our spice rack where we keep the spices we use the most, like paprika powder, garlic, more garlic, some oil, vinegar, chili flakes, and yeah, salt and pepper. So these are really nice to have easy access to when we're cooking, so we like them a lot.
This is our 90-liter compressor fridge, which also has a small freezer in it. It's a really good size for us, so we can fit about 2 weeks of food in here if we plan our meals. Then we have 3 drawers. The first one we use for cutlery and stuff. Cheese slicer, the things we use a lot. Then we have all of our plates and some baking stuff. Then in the third one we have all our larger bowls, our smoothie mixer, some cups and stuff like that. And then to the most important space of them all. Well, this is where we store all our board games. We are huge board game fans and we try to bring as many of them as possible. So this is most of our pocket-sized board games, but we have some big ones as well.
So on this side, starting from the top, we have a cabinet where we keep all our extra electrical stuff, cables, and we also have switches for the water tanks. So in here we have our 2 water gauges for our water tank. So this is our grey water tank, it's almost full, and this is our fresh water tank, which is almost empty. This is a switch to empty the grey water tank. Here's a panel with a bunch of USB outlets that we use to charge things like drone batteries and our phones and everything. We also have a 230 outlet. We also have our internet router up here, and this lovely little hole over here is not supposed to be here. This was supposed to be an extra panel for our MPPT, but the thing that we put here does not connect to our MPPT, so we've just left it as it is. So this is my side of the closet, this is Andrea's side. We have way too many clothes with us, but we do fit pretty much all the clothes that we had before we moved into the van. On the door here we have toothbrushes and deodorants and everything you need up here, and down here we have a bunch of different storage compartments for other stuff like sunscreen, other deodorants and soaps and extra toothpaste and everything we can need really. And then moving over here we have a small cabinet where we keep like protein shakes and basically all our medicine stuff like Advils and yeah, everything like that. And then down here we have our big pantry. So this pantry is something that we really love about the van. It fits everything you could possibly need. It fits both the food that we use regularly and extra food, like extra rice or pasta or everything like that. Everything fits in here, and then it just goes away like that. Oh, and before we forget, we have these cool little locks that we have on the pantry door and on the wardrobe, because these doors are a little bit heavy, so they actually open when we drive if we don't lock them.
So this is the last part of our kitchen, which is basically half of the van. We have a 40 by 40 centimeter sink, so it's a pretty big one, but we're really happy with it because it makes it so much easier to do the dishes. So here we have a pump for our dish soap, so we don't have to have the bottle out, which is really nice. Then we have 2 faucets, one big and one small. The small one is a drinking water faucet, so this one is completely filtered, and the big one is for our dishes, and we can also take this one outside. So we just stick it out the window and then we can have an outdoor shower. We also have this beautiful backsplash that's actually stick-on tiles, so we chose to have this instead of real tiles because of the weight, so we're saving a few kilos by using this.
So underneath the sink we have our water system. So this area is of course used for storage. We have our trash bin and extra foodstuffs and our soda stream under here. So the water system starts with a sea-flow water pump that takes water from our water tank, which is behind this wall. Then we have a seaflow accumulator tank up in the corner here. We have a water heater that is actually a 230 volt water heater, so that runs off our inverter. We almost never use that because it pulls way too much power, and we usually just boil water from the stove. And then up here we have the filter for the fresh water, and this is just the drainage. And on the sides here we have storage for under the sink kind of stuff, extra trash bags, dishcloths, and a bunch of cleaning supplies on this side. And up here we have the button for the pump, so this turns the pump on and off. And then we have a small storage space for a tiny vacuum.
So here we have another storage cabinet where I store all of my drawing supplies and kind of hobby stuff. And under it we have this fake cabinet, and behind it is where we have our water tank. So this is a 125 liter fresh water tank that's fitted around the wheelhouse. So we have these two massive butcher block countertops that we've stained and waxed in the same color as the spice racks and the table to make it match throughout the van.
So this is our seating area. We have a big U couch with a table in the middle, which sits on a lagoon table mount. This tabletop is the same as the countertops. It's the same material and the same stain and everything. This is where we sit to work, eat, play board games, or just chill. And we have a nice, almost panoramic view with the windows from the back doors and a window that we put in on the side. So this above me is actually our bed. It rides down on a pulley system and it sits on top of all of this when we need to sleep. And on the side of the bed we actually have these nice LED lights that we can turn off and on to have a nice soft mood lighting during the evening. So underneath the couch we actually have extra storage. So down here we can actually open up all the seats and we keep extra food, extra stuff that doesn't need to be in the fridge, extra clothes for the winter, and everything else. So on this side of the couch we have all the outlets. We have one 230 outlet, two USB outlets, one USB lighter outlet, and the control for our Renogy inverter.
So for ventilation we have a max air fan deluxe and a sunroof in the back, and we also have two windows that we can open. So that's it for the inside of the van. Now let's go to the back. So this is where we have some more long-term storage and other things that we don't use that often. In here we have a few IKEA boxes for storage. We have one with extra cables, like outdoor cables and stuff. We have a sunshade that we can put up on the side of the van. One box with tools and stuff. We have this one with workout gear, so we have some weights and resistance bands and stuff like that. Then in here we have outdoor stuff, so solar powered lights and our hammock and hanging chair. On top of the boxes we have some outdoor chairs and other stuff that can't fit in the boxes.
So behind all the boxes we have our electrical system. We have a 60 amp MPPT from Renogy. We have a 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter, also from Renogy. And then two 100 amp hour lithium batteries. We also have a Renogy 40 amp DC-DC charger, but it's in there somewhere so you can't see it. We have two 12 volt fuse boxes, one on each side of the car. So one is here and then the other one is behind all the storage in there. We have two bus bars, one for positive and one for negative. So over on this side we actually have a heating mat that sits under our batteries to keep them warm in the Swedish winters, which can actually drop below 30 degrees. To charge our batteries when we're not driving, we have 800 watts of solar panels on the roof.
Back here is also where we fill our freshwater tanks. We just hook up our hose to this one. And behind it we have our motor for the bed. So the motor that lowers and rises the bed. So the motor holds up the bed using these ropes, and this is the button to control it. If you want to see more about our bed, we have a video on it, so we link it here, and we'll also add a link in the description. So this is what it looks like when we have the bed in the down position. Having an elevator bed like this allows us to have both a full-size bed and a lot of seating.
So that's it for our van tour. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week!